Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show today. I'm Gavin Glakas. I'll be guest hosting while Eric is away. And today we're going to have Stephen Walker, one of my favorite artists. Welcome to the show, Stephen.
Hey, how's it going?
It's great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good. What are you going to show us today?
Basically, my process for starting the painting and kind of trying to get through that ugly phase.
The ugly phase. We all know it well.
Yes.
Well, all right. Let's get started.
All right.
It's Art School Live with Eric Rhodes. Now, here's your host, Eric Rhodes.
And I am not Eric Rhodes. Eric is away. I'm Gavin Glakas. I'm guest hosting the show for him this week. Today we've got Stephen Walker, and he's going to show us how to start a painting the right way. So, Stephen, let's see what you got.
Now, Gavin, I have to correct you there. I don't know if it's going to be the right way, but it'll be the way I'm doing it.
Well, your work is fantastic, so that means it's got to be the right way.
Thank you. All right. First, we're going to start with a quick drawing. Usually I have a really nubby brush that I just use to draw with.
And yeah, I love those beat up old brushes. They're very handy.
Oh, yeah. For the most part, I'm not concerned about getting every tree in this painting because that's more reserved for a bigger painting to try to get all the details and whatnot. Mainly, it's just the essence of the painting. So I'm looking at where the light's coming from, and I want to get that in there real quick. Now, one thing I didn't do, which I should have done, I'm going to pause here. Usually, I'm kind of out of my sorts today. Usually, I put a medium on my board before I get started. So I'm going to do that now. And sometimes it's different mediums for different days. Usually, it's something to speed the drying time. And I don't want a lot of it on here. I just want enough to get the paint to have a little bit more fluidity.
Yeah.
So I don't like douse it with a lot of medium of any sort, whether it's linseed oil, poppy oil, or some sort of drying agent. I just want like 10% of it to be medium, and the rest should be paint.
That's really good to know. I know people are always curious about that. I know I am. Let me say hello to some people who are checking in from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Virginia, my home state, Missouri, my ex-home state, North Carolina, Florida, people, Wales, I love it, KC, wow. Colorado, people from all over the place. So hi, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'm really excited to see what Stephen does here today. He's got this painting with this incredible backlighting where we're looking into the sun, huh?
Yeah, I do a lot of paintings just looking into the sun. I didn't listen to my parents at all. I just said, I'm going to look right at it.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, helps you squint and compare, right? Some of us have trouble remembering to squint and compare.
You have to squint. I mean, it'll tell you how things are going when you're kicking yourself and thinking, okay, this is the worst thing I've ever done.
Well, again, I'm not familiar with that feeling.
No,
but I hear that it happens to other artists. So,
oh man, I'm quite familiar with that phase.
What do you do? How do you break through that when you're having a tough time? How do you get through that? Because we all know it.
I have to trust the process and know that, okay, and have to go back and kind of figure out, did I skip any steps that I need to actually address? Am I trying to just get by? I have to ask myself all these questions to make sure that, all right, I'm not taking shortcuts just for the sake of time or anything like that.
My wife has a look that she gives me occasionally.
That
the look says this: you still haven't learned this lesson after all these years? You know, because I'll take a shortcut. I'll skip something that I'll have told her 10 times I'm never going to skip. I'll do exactly what you just said. And then she'll just sort of look at me like, are you never going to learn this lesson?
It's good to have those people in our lives. I'll tell you
It
that.
certainly is.
Really call you out on things.
It really is.
I also have, I mean, my wife does the same thing. She's an artist. And between her and my daughter, they both will call me out and just say, you know, my daughter's 10 and she's already learned that, okay, you didn't do a sketch day. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right.
Amazing.
You caught me. All right. So I've got these lines in here. I want to acknowledge where the sun's going to be coming from. So it'll be in this area.
Now, it doesn't look like the sun is actually in the frame. Is it just above the frame of the painting?
It's just above the frame.
That's interesting.
Because I think it would have changed the whole photograph. It would have blown everything out if I had the camera inside the or the sun inside the frame of the camera. So I'm going to start in the back and work my way forward somewhat. My biggest thing is trying to get the board covered. So right now I'm just using white and orange, and I want to drop in those sky holes there early.
Do you usually work from back to front?
Usually, yeah. I just found that it's easier as far as dealing with layers coming on front forward, as opposed to working what's in front and then trying to needle my way through some of the more complicated areas. It just works for me. It's not necessarily it's definitely not the only way to do anything.
Certainly not. I find it very helpful too, especially in a painting like this where you're going to be doing a lot of overlapping.
Right. I added some blue to that as I get away from the sun. I wanted to have a little bit more of a cool value.
Now, do you usually work on a white ground?
Yes. I used to work on a toned board, and it just became an extra step that I didn't need. But also, the way I was doing it, it was dulling my colors, and I needed to. The way I work, I usually want to start really bright and garish, and then tone it down from there.
Mm-hmm. That makes a lot of sense because it's easy to tone down bright colors, but it's hard to take dull colors and really ramp them up, isn't it?
Exactly.
There's a question. Did you ever paint watercolor?
I painted one watercolor when I was in college. It was great. And then I said, you know what? I'm done. This was a great experiment. Never again.
So you got up to bat once, you hit a home run, and you said, hey, good enough for me.
Yep. Taking the George Costanza way out of things and just saying, I'm going out on top here.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see. I'm just kind of skipping around trying to find out where there's a mountain range back there somewhere. And I usually put these holes in there a little bit bigger than what I need them because I'm going to cut across them with trees. So let's see, keep that. One thing you guys don't see on as far as for the demo is I have a paper towel in my left hand, and so I'm constantly wiping the brush clean. That also helps me get through these paintings a lot quicker.
Yeah, I think that's something that will help students a lot is remembering to
keep that brush clean.
Keep that brush clean. It helps you keep your palette organized too.
Right. Soon I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to break out the brayer. And
what is that?
A printmaking tool.
Oh, I love it. Well, this is good. I was hoping to learn a lot from you today. So this is great news. I've got my pad and my pencil here and I'll be taking notes.
Awesome. You can cheat. Take all my secrets.
Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Yeah, this is why you're on here. I want to steal as much information from you as possible.
I'm going to see if I can make a dark value over here. If I can just block in some color. Because when I squint, I see that a lot of, like this area, that's all dark. And if I go across the whole thing, that's not a problem because I can always just take off some of the paint that I've put in there. I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm really trying to cover the board. And people are probably saying, well, you're covering up your drawing. Well, yeah, I am doing a little bit of that. But that's why I have the reference, so I'm not going crazy as far as dragging paint over a drawing.
That is a really cool effect with that brayer.
I'm just using the edge
Mm-hmm.
of the brayer, so kind of like a car on two wheels.
Right.
And you just go back and get more paint as needed because you'll find that it comes off real easily. Let's do the same thing down here. I'm going to tiptoe around some of the highlights.
That's an approach that I find very helpful, is using implements other than brushes sometimes while painting nature. So I don't just paint the same shape over and over and over again. It's a sort of loss of control. Is that one of the things that appeals to you about that brayer?
Yeah, it keeps me from getting too systematic.
Mm-hmm.
And it allows me to get a little bit out of control to start off because I don't want to be too tight early and never really get to have any fun with the painting. So this allows for a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Leanne is asking what kind of panel you're working on.
Today, I'm actually working on plastic. It's ABS panel. It's the same stuff Legos are made out of.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never heard about this.
I found it from a blog online, and I started using it maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It's not all that I use. Usually I'm painting on aluminum, like aluminum composite panels. But I just happened to have a sheet of this that was 11 by 14. And I believe they sell it online. I found it online, and basically you just sand one side of the board, the slick side, and once you get the glossy finish off, it's ready to paint. There's no.
Really, you don't need to put gesso on or anything like that.
No. Nope.
That's interesting. And it doesn't warp. It holds its shape.
It doesn't warp. It's like this piece is probably an 1/8 inch thick of plastic straight. So it doesn't warp, though it can melt. I can tell you that from experience of doing dumb things.
That's right. You live in Georgia, is that right?
Yeah.
So it probably gets kind of hot in the summer.
Yeah, but I actually tried to get this painting to dry a little quicker, so I put it in the oven. And I left it in there just 2 minutes too long, and sure enough, it was turned into a gooey mess.
Oh, I love that. I love the painting bloopers. I have definitely done that. The first time I ever put a painting in the oven, I think, was before the internet, and I didn't know how long you were supposed to put it in for. I had heard Jamie Wyatt say that he did that, so I figured, well, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I think I was planning to put it in for about, I didn't know, maybe an hour or two.
Ooh.
And after 5 or 6 minutes, I could smell it, and so I got it out. I almost burned down my parents' house, so it's a good thing that, that I got it out. That is really cool. Look at that color. Explain what you're doing to me and how you're making these decisions. That's a very intense color.
Straight cat orange, and I noticed that whenever the sun crosses a tree, usually that tree gets kind of cut in half, or or the light wraps around it, so it gets really warm. Again, I'm trying to stick with very saturated colors,
Mhm.
and then I'll dull them down from there as I get further into the painting.
Well, it's already feeling really bright and warm and vibrant. I mean, right off the bat.
Good. Now I still need to drop a few other extra colors in here, so I'm going to get to those now, because I could get enamored with one particular spot, and next thing you know, I'm sucked in and I forgot about the rest of the painting.
Yeah, that is so easy to
It
happen.
really is. I just want to make this really messy, but kind of like a really good painting that's out of focus.
And now, did you tell us what medium you're using? You said it was a quicker drying medium.
Yeah, this is solvent-free fluid, but sometimes I'll use poppy oil to keep the painting dry a little bit longer, so I can, like if I have to do multiple sessions, things like that.
Mhm.
In the past, I've used liquid, but again, make sure that you're only using like 10% of it as far as the ratio to the paint.
Right.
Usually, that's in my classes. That's what the problem is when somebody's saying something's not drying quick enough or it's runny. It's because they probably use too much medium into the painting.
Right. Yeah, it takes some messing around to sort of get comfortable with it and find something that works.
It
Some
does.
experimenting.
It does. And I mean, that's really important for how I got to this process, was just experimenting. I didn't invent this way of doing things, obviously. But at the time, I really thought I did, because I thought, wow,
Well, it sounds like you did then. You invented it
yeah.
independently.
Until I went to this demo and saw another artist do the exact same thing, I was like, oh my God, this sucks. Good for him, but oh man, I thought I was hot stuff.
You thought you were really onto something.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Let's get this covered in there too. Get rid of all the white, as much of the white as I can. All right, I'm going to go back up to the top and work this where this light would kind of give myself a win as far as like how the light's cutting into the trees.
Hmm.
So I'm using a cad yellow deep. So everything near this light section should have a little bit of yellow mixed into it. And then we're going to cool it off as we get further out. Let's add some orange to that. Here's the difficult part, is making these trees and this foliage look real and not dotty.
Yeah.
So I know we can all get into that. We'll start with let's bring some Viridian into the play. Viridian and a little bit of yellow deep towards the bottom here. Again, just want to cover.
And how much, when you're painting foliage like that,
Mm-hmm.
how much of that is really looking at your reference, really trying to get the shapes right, getting an accurate drawing? How much of that is just having a sense of sort of the rhythm of nature and trying to tap into that sort of independently of your reference and the actual literal shapes that are up there?
It's more about knowing your subject than it is about looking at your reference.
Mhm.
At least for me, I'm not bound to the reference as much as I am about making sure this scene looks like what I actually saw.
That makes a lot of sense.
All right, let's see here. Move along here. I'm going to push these trees in the back, a little bit cooler than what I'm giving, or what I'm given, excuse me. The other important part, to being able to move this fast or quick is knowing knowing your palette, excuse me.
So what's on there? What do you have on your
I,
palette?
I have transparent earth red, alizarin crimson, cad red light, cad orange, cad yellow deep, cad lemon, yellow ochre, viridian, radiant turquoise, cobalt, and ultramarine blue, and of course white.
So are you mostly mixing your greens with yellows and
Viridian,
oranges and viridian?
yeah. So I don't use viridian straight because it's just
Right.
too much. So I'll use viridian as a base and add to that. Because a lot of times when I teach a class and I send out the supply list, people are looking at, viridian. Oh God. Um, what could he possibly be using viridian for?
Right.
Yeah, I don't use it by itself at all.
And in order to get the brush strokes and the foliage to feel natural, to feel not man-made, how much correcting do you wind up doing? Correcting the initial strokes that you put down?
Quite a bit, I think. I'm trying to recall because not as much as I used to. It used to be, I had to do it a lot, or make changes a lot. Now I'm at the point where I just don't care as much. So I'm able to make those marks without, even thinking about them. It's almost second nature now.
I mean, it looks very natural. It doesn't look man-made or programmed or predictable, even at,
Right.
at this step.
Right. And part of that's, using the brush correctly as far as like twisting, turning, not getting into, that pattern of, I'm just gonna just keep dotting and everything's gonna be fine. It doesn't work out that way.
Right.
Again, yeah, and knowing your material, your tools, knowing that, okay, I need these marks for this and so on, and trusting yourself,
Mm-hmm.
trusting, especially if you're basing off a process that has had good success for you. Why not stick to it? Don't get
So how
overwhelmed.
do you
Doing.
how do you check your work? Do you have a mirror? Do you get across the room? Do you
I
work on it
should have a
upside
mirror.
down?
Usually, I get across the room,
Mm-hmm.
or I'll just close one eye.
Mm-hmm.
And like with this, I'm looking at the screen that you guys are looking at every now and then. I'm kind of looking back. What do they see?
That's a good one.
All right. And this is the part where I think a lot of people get scared because they're like, "Oh man, I don't know. This looks kind of rough." And it is rough. It's the start of a painting, so that's usually how they start out. But you don't get to see that on Instagram.
Right.
You get to see the finished piece and like, ta-da! Nothing bad happened. Nothing went wrong.
I often have to remind myself not to panic. I'll be
Yeah.
in this stage and something will be going wrong. I'll have run into some problem that I didn't see coming. And I'll be sort of stuck in that stage for a while. And I'll just have to remind myself, just don't panic. Just
Yeah. You know what
get
you're
through
doing.
it. Yeah.
You've been doing this long enough. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Everything will work out on its own. part of it, well, I mean, not on its own, but you have to do the work. But the process will get you there.
Yeah. And also the process fluctuates. Sometimes, sometimes you just blow right through step 2 and it paints itself, and other times it takes a little bit of work, and that's fine.
Right. I've never painted this scene, so when I first saw it, because I send it out for everybody to know what I'm going to paint, and afterwards I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to handle this. I have no clue, and I don't usually do demos that I've already done before, just because I like for the students to see what stumbles I come into. Because I think the hardest part for painting is making sure you know how to correct a mistake. If you know how to correct your mistakes, you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can have a lot more fun with the painting process.
Yeah, I try to instill that in my students too, is that all of our heroes, all the people who've been doing this for a long time, made tons and tons and tons of mistakes, but they're looking for them. The whole time they're sitting there kind of head hunting for mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But yeah, it's that part of panicking once you come across a mistake, like, how am I getting out of this?
Yeah.
And you panic to the point of, okay, all right, let me get the sander out.
Which is the answer sometimes. I mean,
sometimes it is for me. But if you haven't even put any paint on the board, you start sanding it down.
Right, maybe not at this step. So this painting, as complicated as it is, you seem to have a very clear sense of organization of what's in front and what's behind, and what is catching more of that warm glow of light and what's a little cooler because it's farther away. Is that something that you're just constantly monitoring? Yes.
I make sure that I know, even because I'm dealing with a photograph, which it doesn't tell you everything as much as it would, if this were plein air.
Right.
So I have to tell myself, okay, this part here is back, 200 feet or whatever, and I can't tell what's going on. So I have to make sure that I make it feel like it's that far back, and over exaggerate what the photo is giving me in some cases, or some cases it's not giving me enough.
We've got a couple questions. One person is asking the surface. Can you tell us the name of? I tell you what, we'll probably publish in the comments the name of the surface, but can you tell us again what it's called? It's called
ABS plastic.
Okay. Just write that down in case anybody else asks. ABS plastic.
Yeah.
And what are you using? Tough. What's that?
It's very tough. Think if you've ever stepped on a Lego.
I have. That's all I do, basically.
Yeah.
My house is inundated with Legos, and my little boys are Lego. We'll just call them geniuses. I'll be objective and call them what they are, which is geniuses. And so, usually in the middle of the night is when I step on them, but occasionally during daylight.
Yeah.
But yes. But so I would imagine that this is a great surface to bring with you when you travel.
It is, especially the thinner, like 1/8 inch panels, because they're really light, they're flexible, and they have an ultra smooth surface. Not so smooth that it doesn't have any tooth, but just a hair of tooth to it to help things out.
That's really neat. And
I'll have to send you some.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You can just send me the link, but that would be great. And Cindy is asking, what did you mix to get your darkest dark?
I mix transparent earth red and French ultramarine.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. I'm going to go back to my brayer. We're going to get some more branches in here.
All right, so Stephen, you have 15 or 20 minutes left.
Okay. Not a problem. And I want lines, lots of lines to look like I did a lot more work than I actually have.
Oh, that's very cool. You're just using the very edge of that thing
Yeah.
to get those really thin trees in the background.
Yeah. And some of the branches kicking off of it.
Branches and vines and just the suggestion of.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So do you have those brayers in different sizes, or is that pretty much the one that you use?
For the most part, that's the one that I use, but they come in, that one's 1.5 inches. And so they come in, I believe, 2, 4, and 6 inch. Usually you can find them in the printmaking section of any art store.
And do you have any other secret, unconventional implements that you use a lot?
Not that I can, I'm looking around, not that I can think of. I've tried other things like obviously kneaded erasers and wipeout tools to make marks and stuff like that. But I don't use those as consistently as I probably use the brayer.
That really is a great effect with those branches, especially the ones that catch my eye are the ones on the left, a couple trees in. They give a great sense of depth in that they're cutting in front of those the tree right next to it. That's such a great effect.
Now the medium that I put on there is already getting a little tacky, so it allows me to put start a second coat of paint on what I've started with as far as the road and other parts.
So it's kind of setting up already, huh? After half an hour or so.
Yep. And that's one of those things you have to tell beginners, when they say, "Oh, it's just slipping and sliding all over," it'll set up.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to wait it out.
Robin is asking, what was the medium?
Solvent-free fluid.
I'll write that down too.
It's the liquid version of that. I think a lot of people have the solvent-free gel. And soon we're going to get more carefree than I've already gotten here. So we can get that road on there.
Yeah, that's really getting that sunlight to pop on the road. But someone's asking where you get your ABS plastic. Is there a brand name?
Gosh, I wish I had the manufacturer right offhand. It's usually you can get it from any kind of plastic distributor. Shoot, I'm drawing a blank on the company that I use. I'm not trying to keep it a secret. I can't remember them right now because I order usually they come in 2 foot by 4 foot sheets, and then I just.
So do you cut them?
Yeah, I cut them.
Oh, okay. You have a special saw that cuts plastic, or is it pretty much?
I usually use just a fine blade. Same for cutting wood.
And Gabrielle is asking, is it archival?
Yes.
I guess it is, right? I mean, plastic's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've tried. I did the sand test on this material, so I painted it. I left the paint on there for I don't know, 6 or 7 months, and then tried to sand it off real easily. It didn't come off without an 80 grit piece of sandpaper.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it's on there. All right, let's get a palette knife going here. I'm gonna bump up some of these yellows and highlights kicking through. All right, back to a slightly bigger brush. I try to use slightly bigger brushes to keep me from getting into too much little detail and dabbing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with dealing with all this foliage. And the further I get into the painting, the more paint I use.
And how long do you wait before varnishing? Someone is asking.
With the new stuff that they have, Gamvar, I usually wait maybe a week till the painting's dry to the touch. The thickest part of the painting is dry to the touch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have 6 months.
Right.
Those days are over, thankfully. I just wouldn't varnish them back
right.
Before that.
No, we're so lucky that we're able to do it so soon.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see, where's that spot at? Easy to lose your place too. Highlights along the bridge. A little bit of palette knife work. Really get the paint on there.
It's a nice edge right there. It really pops that tree out.
Yeah. Let's see, we've got dark value here. I want to connect. Okay. I'm going to try to make the sun glow just a little bit more than it already is. Oh. So it's not a matter of just putting in straight white. A little bit of white, a little bit of lemon yellow.
Yeah, that's really a nice effect.
Let's see. What is that spot for? No idea. Let's cover that up.
By the way, in our comments, Daniel is checking in from Nairobi, Kenya. So, hey, Daniel, thanks for joining us.
Welcome. I'm glad.
So someone's asking again what the medium is that Steven's using. He's using solvent-free fluid.
I'm just glad that none of my family are on this.
Would they have notes, as they say in Hollywood?
Oh, they would heckle. Oh man. What's that for? You know. You sure you want to make that color? Yeah.
I remember when I was first getting started, I was taking class with this guy who I thought was just spectacular. I was just knocked out by his work. And he mentioned that his girlfriend was always just looking at his paintings and telling him what's wrong with them. And I thought, man, I hope that one day I'm good enough that my girlfriend or my wife or my kids or somebody will look at my paintings and tell me what's wrong with them. You know, 'cause until you get to a certain point, people are sort of hesitant to just throw that right out at you. So I think that's even where I'm going with this is that I think that is evidence that you've arrived.
Yeah, they know I can take it. I think if I were too fragile, they might say, no, it's fine. You're doing great. When they know, oh God, poor
Susan
guy.
is asking, do you ever use traditional canvas or just plastic?
No, I use traditional canvas, especially for larger pieces when I have to ship things for commissions and things like that. I'll just roll the canvas up and ship it to the nearest framer, and they'll restretch it for me.
It's a
So a
smart way.
lot of times I'll use canvas and tack it up to the board, to my wall, and paint on it from there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm all about just for whatever. I'm not what's the word I'm looking for?
Precious?
Yeah, I'm not precious with the materials that I use, and that there's only one way you can use canvas, or using canvas is wrong or anything. I'm not one of those guys.
Joanne says hi from New Zealand. So hi, Joanne. Great to
Hi,
have you with
Brandon.
us. And Carl is asking, can a dry, clean towel with your finger create sunlight rays through trees while the paint is partially dry?
It can, but I don't know if you'd want that effect. It might come off more as just smearing. I like to just change the color to suggest that there are rays coming through, although there are none on this particular reference.
Right. So, Stephen, you've got between 3 and 8 minutes.
Okay. Thank you. Let's see. Let's get over to the right-hand side here. I hadn't really addressed some of the thinner paint.
I'm amazed at how much you've gotten done on this in such a short amount of time, with this guy sitting here in your ear asking you questions, and you teaching us this entire time.
Years of teaching at the university level, and then, just teaching workshops and realizing, okay, I'm not going to get anything done unless while people ask me questions, unless I can do this at the same time. The other part is, like I said, I have a 10-year-old daughter who, at one point, when she was younger, would hang on me, like literally. So I had to get used to doing multitasking, basically.
Okay, Leanne is asking, out of everything you paint, what's your favorite subject?
Ooh, gosh, I really like painting tractors, and although I don't get to do those a lot, it's all over the place, I guess, for me, because I'll just wake up and say, okay, what am I going to paint today, as opposed to what do I have to paint today.
Right.
I'd much, some days I don't get anything done because I'm like, well, I don't feel like painting this set of trees or whatnot, so I'll find something else that's more into my mood. But I like old stuff. Most artists like old, rickety, falling apart structures, things like that.
Stuff with some character.
With some character, yes, exactly.
I love it. Now, Diane is asking, would you approach canvas the same way? Same
Yes.
process here.
Yes, exact same process.
It's good to know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the surface. I'll still add the medium on there. It just depends on what medium I want to use. That's the only real question that comes into play. Whether I want to paint, like if I'm doing a cloud scene, I might use poppy oil to keep the paint wet longer, excuse me, so that I can manipulate the clouds and from day to day. Let's see if we can punch up just a couple of these.
And Loretta wants to know if your little girl likes art.
She loves art. She actually has a place in the studio for Saturday and Sundays, we come in here and we spend about, I'd say, 4 hours in the studio together.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's awesome.
So all three of us, my wife, my daughter, myself, and our dog, are all in the studio. And we all have our places. My wife has her desk. Pop has, my daughter's name is Poppy. She has her own easel and set up with acrylic paints.
Oh, that's so much fun. Diane's asking, did you start with medium before painting? Yes, Stephen did.
Yes.
And Robin is asking if you paint plein air.
Yes, I do. Not as much more recently, but I still get out there when I can. Sometimes I'm caught up in traveling and teaching that a lot of times I'll teach studio practices more so than teaching plein air. But like this past summer, I taught a 2-week plein air painting course in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Oh, that must have been great.
It was. I've just never painted plein air for 2 weeks straight. I mean, it was crazy, but they loved it. I was happy with it. So
that's great. Yeah, that's intense. It's every day dealing with the elements and
and the same personalities and which was awesome because you really got to know your students.
Right. Yeah, I'm doing a travel workshop in a couple of weeks, and I've done it the last couple of years, and it's just so much fun to paint all day and explore, and then everybody has dinner together every night, and maybe a glass of wine or two, and sort of swap stories and everything. It's a really great atmosphere.
That's always cool.
Carl is saying that he drove through the Avenue of the Giants in Northern California and took similar pics of the redwoods and the roadway, and you captured the look very well.
Oh, thank you.
Tamara is asking, does the solvent-free liquid make the whole painting dry faster?
Yes.
As in a help for traveling?
Yes. So this painting will probably be dry in a couple of days, if not sooner, depending on how much you use and what the weather's like. So, I'm in South Georgia, so it's, 80 degrees right now. I can sit it outside and it'll be dry enough to work on tomorrow.
Yeah, you have really done a complete thought in just a very short amount of time. I mean, you've gotten a lot accomplished here.
Part of it is just I'm having fun. So I'm just throwing down paint and not getting too stressed.
Yeah, I remember that every once in a while. Like, oh yeah, you're allowed to have fun. This is allowed to be fun.
Yeah, it is. Every now and then.
Robin is asking, can I begin a painting with the solvent-free liquid if I am using water-soluble oils?
I think so. I think the water-soluble will let you still use the traditional oil mediums with it.
All right, now we've got about a minute, Stephen. So if you want to put your final touches on.
Final touches. Oh, man. I got a couple here.
By the way, a common refrain that has been popping up in the comments section all day long is that you make it look very easy.
Well, if I made it look hard, I'd be worried. I'm the one up here.
There'd be a mutiny.
Yeah. I'm like, what is this guy? He's sweating bullets up there. Who's this guy telling me what to do? He can't even keep it straight himself. And I do it a lot. So it's, it's kind of second nature in some cases. All right.
Well, this looks fantastic.
Awesome.
I'm really amazed at how much you got done, how the depth that you managed to create and the glow of the light, the color within the shadow. It's a really excellent job. I think people learned a lot from watching this.
Thank you. I hope so.
Really quick before we leave, you have a show coming up, a gallery show coming up soon, don't you?
Yes, so do you.
I do?
Yes.
Well, I got to get to work then. When and where is your show?
Having a show at Principal Gallery in February.
That's right. Stephen and I are having a show together at Principal Gallery in February. And the second we get off of this, we're going back to work. But Stephen, that was really great. Thank you very much. I know from all the comments, you'll be able to see them, that people really learned a lot and they were really excited about it.
Wonderful.
Thank you for joining us today.
No problem.
I hope that you all who joined us enjoyed today's demo. Don't forget to visit Stephen's website, StephenWalkerStudios.com, and follow him on Instagram at Stephen Walker Studios. I have a gift for you. Download the free video, 97 Incredible Art Secrets. Go to 97artsecrets.com/ASL. And if you haven't signed up for Plein Air Live, it's time to do so. November 6th through 8th, 2025, with Essential Techniques Day on November 5th. 3 days to fast track your journey to outdoor painting. Sign up at pleinairlive.com. And everybody, don't forget to subscribe to this channel at Art School Live on YouTube and at Eric Rhodes on Instagram. And you can check out my work on my website, GavinGlakas.com. You can follow me on Instagram at Gavin_Glakas. And of course, you can get my videos, Glow, Creating Depth, Atmosphere, and Vibrant Sun, and Painting the Night at PaintTube TV. So thank you for joining us. A huge thank you to Stephen Walker for such a great demo. And we'll see you tomorrow with Mark Anderson.